Online students, is my voice is loud and clear? Online students, could you please confirm? One zero to the end of bar. Now it is clear. Could you please confirm me now? Okay. So it is clear now, right? So in the last class, we are discussing about the inferential statistics, and we have seen the how to formulate the inferential statistics, and also we have completed in terms of uh, how to work on the inferential statistics step-by-step procedure, right? For doing the step-by-step procedure, right? Now, in today's class, we are going to continue with the same, and we'll have the for multiple case studies and see how this. Okay, so we'll see this multiple case studies, and could you please confirm me in the previous class we have concluded one Kinley water bottle, and based on the Kinley water bottle, we have concluded uh, how to apply the inferential statistics. So this is the last example, right, which we have done. So Kinley water bottle, their quality inspector wants to inspect whether Kinley 1 liter water bottle has 1000 ml or not. And for this, inspector has selected 25 bottles randomly, which has mean of 1005 ml. Right. So, with a population deviation of 15 ml, and apply the statistical test, apply the hypothesis test, and conclude, right? So here first step one, we have taken the mu is equal, mu greater than or equal to 1000 ml, mu less than 1000 ml, where we have to take the action. And step two is alpha. Alpha is equal to 0.05. And step three is assuming the data is normally distributed. And what is the step four? We are going to apply the statistical test. And after applying the statistical test, what are the p-value we are going to get? And based on the p-value, we'll accept or reject the null hypothesis. Now, this question is completed. And let us see the case study number 2. So for this particular case study, I request everyone to write the null and alternate hypothesis and let us complete the entire question. Guys, before doing this, have we completed this one already? All the steps also completed or only null and alternate hypothesis? Okay, done. So what is the null and alternate hypothesis for this question? What is the null and alternate hypothesis? Null hypothesis says that mu is less than 30 minutes, whether the service goal of less than 30 minutes is getting achieved or not, for which we have to take no action. And H1 is mu is greater than 30, for which we have to take the action. Right? Now, so within the one sample test, whenever we apply the one sample test, within the one sample test, again we are having three types, which is called as one sample z-test with left tail rejection. One is called as one sample z-test with right tail rejection, and one sample z-test with two tail rejection. Okay, left tail, right tail, and two tail rejection. Now, what is meant by this? Do you remember in the last class we have discussed the how to reject the null hypothesis? Okay, so for example, this is your normal distributed data. In the normal distributed data, what is alpha? Alpha is nothing but level of significance for which we are going to reject the null and null hypothesis. Now, in the left tail rejection, what happens means when you are having the left tail rejection, in the left tail, we are going to reject the null hypothesis like this. This is the rejection of null hypothesis, where this percentage is 5%. This is 5% of rejection of null hypothesis, and acceptance of null hypothesis is 95%. Right? This is left tail rejection. Right tail rejection means where you are having the null and alternate hypothesis, rejecting of null hypothesis is again 5%, and acceptance is 95%. This is left tail test and this is a right tail test. Example for left tail test, example for right tail test. So when, for example, in the Kinley water bottle example, null hypothesis is mu is greater than or equal to 1000 ml, and alternate hypothesis is mu is less than 1000 ml. Now, when you are going to reject your null hypothesis means when it is less than 1000 ml. Less than means it is left tail test. Any value less than 1000, even 990, 995 or 950, 945, what are the number? Between 0 to 1000, what are the number? We are going to reject the null hypothesis. That rejection of null hypothesis on the left side, because any value less than this, we are going to reject. Now, if you go with the pizza example, in the pizza example, what is the null hypothesis? Mu is greater than or equal to, mu is less than or equal to 30 minutes. Alternate hypothesis is mu is greater than 30 minutes. Right? Now, mu is greater than or mu is greater than. So, when you are going to reject your null hypothesis, rejection of null hypothesis, when it will happen? When it is more than 30 minutes. More than 30 minutes means here what are the symbol you are having? This symbol indicates whether it is right tail test or it is left tail test. So when you are going to reject the null hypothesis, that one is important. We are not going to focus on the alternate hypothesis. Our main requirement is on the null hypothesis. Whether we are going to accept the null hypothesis, whether we reject the null hypothesis. Anything we have to say based on the null hypothesis, not on the alternate hypothesis. Is the point is clear? So this is called as right tail test and this is called as left tail test. This example is for left tail test. This example is for right tail test. And coming to the third example called as two tail test. Okay, one more we are having called as two tail test. If this is clear, miss, I will erase and I will write the two-tailed test. Everyone. So within the one sample, again you are having left tail, right tail, and two tail. Now, so coming to the next one called as two-tail test. So in the two-tail test, what happens means whenever you are having less also problem, when you are having more also it is a problem. So two sides rejection will be there for null hypothesis. Example is your milk packets of 500 ml. You have executed one more case study. Do you remember in the last class? Milk carton packets. Okay. So milk packets of 500 ml. So whenever you are having the milk packets of 500 ml, where mu is exactly equal to 500 ml, mu is not equal to 500 ml. If it is more also problem, if it is less also problem. So in this case, we are going to have the two-tailed rejection. In this case, we are going to have the two-tailed rejection. So whatever your alpha value is there, right? Alpha value should be of two sides, na? Alpha by 2. That is 2.5 on the left side, 2.5% on the right side, and 95% is the acceptance area. Your alpha will be divided by 2. Left side half, right side half. And 95%. Acceptance area of null hypothesis will be 95%. Now for 3 of them, let us execute the 3 examples from starting to ending so that you will get a complete clarity on this. Now, for every for any test, what are the steps involved? These are the steps. First step is formulation of null and alternate hypothesis. Second step is level of significance. Third step is checking whether the data is normally distributed or not. Step 4 is apply the statistical test and calculate the test statistic value. And from that, you are going to calculate the probability value. And based on the probability, you are going to accept or reject the null hypothesis. So these are the steps involved in the inferential statistics statistical test. Whatever the case study, these are the steps. Now, first, once again, I'm repeating. Total 3 of them. I'm going to repeat one more time. Okay, that is case study number 1. Your first case study is nothing but Kinley water bottle, where quality inspector wants to inspect whether the Kinley water bottle of 1 liter water bottle has exactly 1000 ml or not. For this, he wants to inspect. Inspector has selected 25 bottles randomly, and which has the mean of 1005 for 25 bottles. For 25 bottles, it is 1005 ml with a population standard deviation of 15 ml. Apply the hypothesis test and conclude the test. What is the step 1 is null hypothesis says that mu is greater than or equal to 1000 ml and mu is less than 1000 ml. What are the population mean is there? So the population mean here, if I have to write population mean is greater than 1000 ml, then he is not going to take action. If population mean is less than 1000 ml, he is going to take the action. Next, alpha is equal to 0.05. And third one is assume the data is normally distributed. Why we have to assume the data is normally distributed? Because here the data set was not given to us. If the data set was given to us, we'll estimate directly. We'll calculate the skewness directly. Now, what is the step 4? For this particular case study, what is our step 4? Apply the statistical test. Apply statistical test. What is the statistical test we have to apply, miss? One sample Z test. First step is select. Select statistical test. What is the statistical test you are going to select, miss? One sample Z test. One sample Z test. Okay, this is the first one. Apply this test. Apply the test means what is the meaning of apply the test? First you have to calculate the Z test value, that is test statistic value. How to calculate test statistic value? Jet test statistic value is equal to x bar minus mu divided by sigma by square root of n. So x bar, what is the x bar value? This is the x bar value, 1005. And what is the mu value? 1000. And what is the standard deviation? 15. Total number of samples, 25. And what is the value have got? 1.667. So up to 2 decimals, if you have to take up to 1.67. So this is called as apply statistical test. After applying the statistical test, what is the next step we have to do? Calculate the p-value. Calculate p-value. So how to calculate the p-value? From Z table. Open the Z table, and from the Z table, we are going to calculate. Now, before calculating the p-value from the Z table, here select the statistical test is there, right? This is one sample Z test with what tile rejection? Left tile or right tile or two tile? It is a left tile rejection with a left tile rejection. Left tile rejection. Now, what is the diagram for this one? Left tile rejection diagram. For normal distribution, alpha should be left side or right side? Left side. How much is alpha value for this question? 5%. They have not given now. In the question, they have not given now. When they have not given, what is the default value? 5%. So left side, you have to take 5% of the area. Then what is the balance area? Why? Because the total area is 100%. So this is 95%. 5% is rejection of null hypothesis, which is your alpha value, and 95% is your acceptance of null hypothesis. This is the diagram. Now, from the Z table, what you calculated? P value. From Z table, P value at Z is equal to 1.67. What is the P value? 0.952. Now 0.952. This is a 5%. 5% means what is the value wise? Percentage wise 5. What is the value wise? 0.05. Okay, so this is from 0 to 0.05. This is from 0.5 to 1. Now whatever the value I have got, 0.95. 0.95 will be in between 0 to 0.5 or 0.5 to 1. Where it will be? Here it is going to be in the 0.5 to between 1, whether it is in the acceptance area or rejection area. It is in the acceptance area. Now what is the step 5 we have to conclude? Step 5 is equal to whether accept null hypothesis or reject null hypothesis. Accept null hypothesis. So when I'm going to accept the null hypothesis, that is mean value is going to be more than 1000 ml. So whether this inspector is going to take any action on the company or no action, he is not going to take any action. There is no evidence to prove that the mean value is less than 1000 ml. So he is not going to take any kind of action on them, and simply he will leave that company without taking any kind of action. Is the point is clear for everyone? This is your question number 1. All the steps are included, and how to calculate it is clear. Diagram is important. Here the test name is important with the left tile or right tile, and based on that you have to draw the diagram. Question 1 is clear. Now let us go with the question number 2. Question number 2 is this one. The mean response time for random sample of 30 pizza deliveries is 32 minutes. First, 30 pizza deliveries means n value is equal to 30. Here let us write first given data. Given n is equal to 30. The mean time of 30 deliveries. What are the sample they have collected now? For that 30 deliveries, it is 32 minutes. It is 32 minutes. The population standard deviation is believed to be 10 minutes. That is sigma is equal to 10 minutes. The pizza delivery services director wants to perform a hypothesis test with alpha is equal to 0.05 to determine whether the service goal of 30 minutes or less is being achieved, assuming the data of normally distributed. Okay. Now, again, what are the steps? Step 1. Start with the step 1. Start with step 1. What is the null and alternate hypothesis? Null hypothesis is mu is less than or equal to 30 minutes. Why? Why it is less than or equal to 30 minutes? Why? Because their service goal is to get 30 minutes. If their service goal is getting achieved, there is no need to take any kind of action. When any person will take action means when it goes opposite to them. Okay, that is when the deliveries are getting delivered more than 30 minutes. At that time, they are going to take the action. This is your step 1. Okay. Next, step 2. What is the step 2? What is the step 2? Level of significance. What is the level of significance? 0.05. Because why? It was given in the question itself directly. Next, step 3. What is step 3? Check whether the data is normally distributed or not. Now, what is the answer for this? It is normally distributed. Why? Directly in the question itself, they have given the assumed data is normally distributed. If they have not given also, because data was not given means, obviously we have to assume the data is normally distributed only. Assume normally distributed. Data is normally distributed. Now, coming to the step 4. What is the step 4? First, before apply, select the statistical test. Tell me first, what is the statistical test for this example? One sample. Again, it is Z test or T test? Z test. Why Z test? Population standard deviation was given. Now, with what tail rejection? Right tail rejection. Why right tail rejection? Why? Because greater than we are going to reject. Less than means will not reject. Which side will reject? Null hypothesis when it will be rejected. When the null hypothesis will be rejected, that is important for us. When the null hypothesis will be rejected means when it is more than 30 minutes, it's get rejected. If it is less than 30 minutes, it will not get rejected. So it is with right tail rejection. Now, if it is a right tail rejection, what is the diagram? How to draw the diagram for right tail rejection? First, we have to draw the normal distributed data. In that, should I take the rejection on the right side or left side? Right side rejection. That is alpha on the right side. That is 0.05. Where you are going to reject the null hypothesis. Now, from this one to what is this value? Till this, what is the value? 0.95. 0 to 0.95 p values, we have to accept the null hypothesis. For 0.95 to 1, we have to reject the null hypothesis. Till 0 to 0.95, we have to accept. From 0.95 to 1, we have to reject. Because 95% is the acceptance region, 5% is the rejection region. Next, after selecting the test, what is the next step? What is the next step? That is apply the test and calculate the p-value. Apply the test first. Z-test. What is the formula for Z-test? X bar minus mu divided by sigma by square root of n. That is X bar 32 minus what is the mu value? 30. Why? Because that is the null whatever the hypothesis test we are applying, that value is the mu value. Divide by Sigma. What is the sigma? 10. What is the n value? 30. Now what is this value? Calculate once. 1.09. Done. Now from 1.09, what is the next step we have to do? Calculate the p value. So open the Z table and tell me for this one, what is the p value for 1.09? For 1.09, what is the p value in the Z table? Z table. So 1.09. See, for 1.09, what is the value? 1.0 is this one, 0.9 is this one, that is 0.8621. Now for 0.8621, p value is 0.8621. Step 4 is completed. Now step 5. What is step 5? We have to conclude whether to accept or reject the null hypothesis. Now tell me, in this, whether this value comes under acceptance area or rejection area. It is comes under acceptance area. Now whether you are going to accept the null hypothesis or reject the null hypothesis. Accept the null hypothesis. This is your step 5. That's it. Because it comes under acceptance area, we accept. If it is comes under rejection area, we reject. According to that. Clear, guys? Everyone? All the steps are clear? Now, sir, are we going to do the same thing in the Python also step by step? Miss, in the Python, for this formula, we are having the function. For this formula only, we are having the function. Step 1 is by you only. Step 2 by you only. Step 3 by you only. Step 4, selecting the test also by you only. What are the step 4 formula is there? Na? For formula, we are having one function where you have to give the input parameters. And it will calculate the value. Okay. Only this calculation will be done by the Python. Remaining things you have to only give. And you only have to accept or reject the null hypothesis. That one also we are going to do today. That example also will continue. Okay. Second case study is clear, right? For everyone. Now let us go with the case study number 3. Yes. For this example, what are the steps? First, what is the first step you have to do? Is first you write the given data. Then you will get a clarity. Right? Always given. Given, assuming a sample of 30 milk carton, 30 means n is equal to 30 milk carton packets are selected. Milk carton means milk packets. Provided a sample mean of 505 means for this 30 it is 505 ml. The population standard deviation believed to be 10 ml, that is sigma is equal to 10 ml. Perform a hypothesis test at 0.03 level of significance. It is not 0.05, 0.03 level of significance. Population mean of 500. They want to test for 500 to determine whether the filling process should be continued operating or stop and corrected. Right? Now, this is the question. Everyone is clear with the question? Or if you want, you can read one more time. Done? Question is clear now? Now, who is performing the test? Whether inspector or with respect to any inspector is performing the test, or company people are performing the test means company people are performing the test. How you can know? Why? Because corrected. Up to stopping will be done by the inspector. Continue means it will be continued. For example, if the company is cheating, and they are giving the sticker of 500 ml, but internally they are giving 450 ml of milk only. Then what the inspector will do means they are going to stop. They are not going to do the correction now. Hey, you are doing the mistake and correct your machine and do properly like this. They are not going to do. So it will be done by the company people. So we have to see from this company people point of view. So from company people point of view, what is the step one? Formulate the null and alternate hypothesis. What is the null and alternate hypothesis? Null hypothesis says that mu is exactly 500 ml. Alternate hypothesis says that mu is not equal to 500 ml. That is step one. What is step two? Step two, level of significance. What is the level of significance? 0.03. Okay. Now, step three. What is step three? Check for normal distribution, whether the data is normal distributed or not. Yes. Why? Because data was not given in the question. Either they have to write, assume the data is normally distributed, or they have to give the data. But here in this case, they have not given the data, means automatically it is normally distributed only. Sir, if the data was given, then that is next example. We'll try that example also. We are going to try multiple examples. Okay, if the data is skewed, what we have to, that example also we'll try. If the data is like this, that example also we'll try. Like that, we'll try the multiple examples. Right? Step 4. What is the step 4? Select the test first. Now tell me, what is the test I have to select here? One sample Z test or T test? Z test. Why? Population standard deviation was given. Right? Next, what after one sample Z test, whether it is a right tile, two tile or left tile? Two tile. Why? Because if it is greater also problem, it is less than also problem. Two sides problem is there. One side only not problem. Two sides problem. Two sides problem is two tile rejection. One side problem is one tile rejection. So whenever you are having here not equal to symbol, that indicates it is a two tile. So here I'm having the two tile rejection like this. Now, how much is the rejection area? How much is the acceptance area? With a two tile rejection, how much is the acceptance area? How much is the rejection area? Rejection area is 3%. That is 0.03. Acceptance should be balanced. That is 97%, 0.97. So this is 0.97 is the acceptance area. Rejection area is nothing but 0.03. But here rejection is two sides are there now. So now what I have to do? 0.03 if I take on the left side, 0.03 if I take on the right side, then what is the total area I'm going to get is 1.03. Because 0.03 plus 0.97 plus 0.03, 1.03, the total area is how much? 1 only now. Now, what I have to do here? Left side, I have to take alpha by 2, that is 0.015. This side also have to take 0.015. Then if I do the total, it is going to be 1. This is 1 minus alpha value. This is alpha by 2. This is alpha by 2. If you add 1 minus alpha plus alpha by 2 plus alpha by 2, that is 1 minus alpha plus alpha, alpha cancels and 1. The total area is going to be 1. So this is the reason why we have to do alpha by 2. Is the point is clear? Sir, why 2 only, sir? This side you can take by 3. That side you can take 2 and 2 alpha by 3 now. One side 1 alpha by 3, second side 2 alpha by 3. Why? Both the sides equal means it is a normal distributed data, symmetrical. Left side and right side area should be the same. One side alpha by 4, second side 3 alpha by 4 we can't take. How much on the left side you are having? Same amount should be on the right side also. It is a symmetrical distribution. That is the reason here it is normal distributed. We have written in the third step. Is the point is clear? Now, after selecting the test, what is the next step? Apply the test. Apply the test. First, let us apply. Apply the test. That is x bar minus mu divided by sigma by square root of n. What is x bar? 505. What is mu? 500. What is sigma? 10. What n value? 30. Now what is this value? 2.74. Good. Now for 2.74, what is the p value? P value at z of 2.74 from the z table. What is the value of p value? Double 969. Now this is 0 to 0.015. 0.152 plus 0.97, that is 0.985 up to here. It is again acceptance. This is rejection. Now, what are the value you have got, whether it is in the acceptance area or rejection area? 0.09969 comes under which category? 0.085 to 1, which is under rejection category. So now whether we have to accept the null hypothesis or reject the null hypothesis? Reject the null hypothesis. Reject null hypothesis. That is mu value is equal to 500 ml. Reject that one. Immediately take the action. So these company people are going to take the action and they are going to rectify their mission. Because the mission is giving more amount of ml. So which is going to be a loss for them. So immediately they are going to take a action. Is the point is clear now? Everyone? 3 examples are clear. Anyone has any question? If anyone has any question, you can ask. What are the question you are having? On one sample Z test with left tail rejection, one sample Z test right tail rejection, one sample Z test with two tail rejection. 3 of them. Everything is clear or anyone has any questions? Online students? Online students, could you please respond? Is that clear or any questions? Everyone? Whoever has attended the previous class, only every student please respond. Whoever has not attended the previous class, if you don't respond also not a problem. Because obviously I know the answer that you will not understand. Whoever has not attended the previous class, 100% it will not be clear for you because you don't know what is null and alternate hypothesis, what is this rejection, what is this acceptance, all these things. Completely it will be new for you. Students who has attended the previous class, please respond. Everything is clear, right? Now let's try with the next example. This example you only have to complete everything. I'm not going to explain anything on the board. That too in the Python. Let's go with the practical. So here, sir, where we are going to get this type of questions, where we are going to get that type of questions, whatever you are going to show now in the Python. This type of questions you will get in the certification. What are the 3 examples just now we have completed now? These type of questions you will get in the certification. And in the certification or in the exam, any, for example, TCS data analytics exam is there. Okay, every 3 to 4 months once they'll conduct. Okay, I will show you what is that exam and what is the syllabus in that. Everything will be covered also. Now TCS is going to conduct one exam, and once you have qualified in that exam, 100% you will get the interview call from the TCS. So for that exam, they are going to keep only theory questions. No Python will be given. Not it is coding test. Okay, they are going to give you the theory questions or MCQs. Now in these MCQs and theory questions, you have to do manually everything, not by using the Python. Now when you are not going to use the Python, particularly statistics, even in the interview room also, none of the person, they'll ask like this only. There are multiple jobs are there, particularly for data analyst role, inferential statistics is more important. Descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Statistics is the heart of the data analytics. Okay, so main part is only statistics. Remaining things is normal. Many people will assume that SQL, Python, and this one, that one. But rather than those coding part, statistics is the main part. Analysis. How you are going to analyze means based on the statistics we are going to analyze. Statistical analysis is the main part and remaining is the helpful. If, for example, this same example you have to do in the Python, you can do in the Python. Same example you have to do in other languages, you can do. Once you understand the formula and once you understand the concept, programming languages are different. Right? Now, coming to the point, for this one, what are the statistical analysis we are going to apply? Now, let us do it in the Python. First, let me show you the question. I'm from there. So this is the question, guys. Length of 25 samples of fabric are taken at random. Historic mean and standard deviation are 150 and 5.5 centimeters. Quality inspector want to test if current mean is equal to historic mean, assuming alpha is equal to 0.05. First, 25 samples of fabric. Fabric means cloths. What are the dress materials? Now, if you select any shirt or any material, dress material, they are going to print that how much centimeters it is having. For example, some people will purchase the shirt materials, shirt. For that, first they are going to buy the fabric and later they are going to do the tailoring. Now, first, once they have done the fabric, once they have selected the fabric, on the back side, there will be something called as 150 centimeters or 200 centimeters or 250 centimeters, something will be there. Now, if you purchase any fabric, even in Amazon, if you purchase, they'll mention the size. For example, you want to purchase the bed sheet. One bed sheet you want to purchase. Now, for the bed sheet, one sizes will be there, right? 4x6 or 5x6, queen size or king size, something. The size will be there. The size they are going to mention on the sticker. Now, on the sticker, they are going to mention 150 centimeters, but internally 150 centimeters is there or not? That is a question. They will mention that one, but internally it should be there now. Now, quality inspector wants to test whether it is having or not. So what he has done is he has selected 25 samples of fabric at random. And what are the fabric he has selected? And for this 25 fabrics, we are going to get the data like this. Okay, 25 fabrics. This is the data. Each length is this one. Okay, this is the length of the 25 fabrics. Okay, first fabric he has selected and he has measured 151.2. He can't measure all the fabrics in the shop now. Everything he can't measure. So he is going to select randomly any 25 samples he has selected, and for everything he has measured. Now, after measuring of this, now what is the question? What is the question is, historic mean. Historic mean means population mean. And standard deviation of 150 and 5.5 centimeters. And he want to test the current mean. What is current mean means? Sample mean. Whether the sample mean is equal to historic mean, means what are the samples he has selected, whether it is equal to 150 or not. and alpha is equal to 0.05. Now, first, let's start with the every time given. What is given? What is given? Here, Pradeep Kumar says that your voice is not clear. Others, could you please confirm, is my voice is clear or not clear? Everyone, it is clear now? Okay. Pratik, could you please relog in once again? Okay. Now, first given. Given what? N is equal to 25. And alpha is equal to 0.05. And historic mean is of mu is 150 centimeters. Population standard deviation is 5.5 centimeters. This is the question. These are the given. Step 1. What is the step 1? Null and alternate hypothesis. Null and alternate hypothesis. Tell me what is the null? Who is doing that this test? Who is performing the test? Company people or inspector? Inspector is performing. Inspector or customer who is going to check. Cross-checking people are doing. Right? Now, according to them, when they are going to accept the null hypothesis, I mean, when they'll satisfy, when they'll not reject. What is the null and alternate? Greater than or equal to 150, for them it is okay. You give 150 centimeters, you have given. If you give 152 also, for me, okay. But you can't give less than that. Mu less than 150. I'm going to take the action. Greater than 150, okay. No action. As an inspector, I will not take any action on you. And if you are giving at less than 150, I will take the action. Let's go with an example. You went to a shop and you have selected a bed sheet. They told that, sir, this bed sheet is of 6 by 6 bed sheet. You have taken the measuring tape and you have checked whether it is 6 feet or not. Now it is not in the 6 feet. What you are going to do? You are going to take the action. What action you will take means you are going to discuss with that person. Hey, why you are cheating like this and why you are saying this? It is a 6 feet. It is only 5.5 now. Something you are going to say. If it is 6.2, what you will do? They told 60 feet only. It is 6.2. What will do? Okay, it is satisfied because fabric means obviously it will be shrinked in the future and it comes to the 6 only. So we are okay with this and we'll simply no action. Right? Now, next one is alpha. Step 2, alpha. What is the alpha value for this question? Done. Now, whether the data is normally distributed or not, the data was given to us. So when the data was given to us, we can't assume the data is normally distributed. We have to check the data is normally distributed or not. How to check the data is normally distributed or not means in that. So first I'm going to load the data. What are the data was given to me? That data I'm first going to load that one. After loading the data, how to check whether the data is normally distributed or not means I'm going to check the skewness. If the skewness lies between -1 to +1, it is normal distributed. If it is not between -1 to +1, it is either left skewed or right skewed. Now in this case, it is normal distributed. So when the data was given, you have to calculate the skewness, or you have to check the histogram, or you have to check the density curve. Already in the previous descriptive statistics, I told you what are the various options to check the data is normally distributed or not. Right? Now you can apply whichever the way you are interested. Out of all of them, this is the simple one. So I have applied this one. Even you can apply the histogram, you can apply the density curve, or you can apply any others also as per your choice. Right? Done. Next, coming to the next one. What is the next one is? What is the next one? Step 4. In the step 4, what is the first? In the step 4, what we have to do? Select the test. Now tell me what is the test I have to select for this example? One sample Z test or T? It is one sample Z test. Why? Because here population standard deviation was given with 5.5. In the given question, population standard deviation was given. I ask it to write in the given. In the given, sigma is there or not? So what is the test is? One sample Z test. Now Z test, okay. What is the tile rejection? Left or right or two tile? Left tile test. Why it is left tile test? When it is less than 150, you will reject. Rejection area is on left or right, I am asking. Rejection when you will do miss when it is less than 150. So what is the diagram? With the left tile rejection. What is the diagram, guys? Diagram. What is the diagram? So we have to draw the left tile rejection diagram. That is, left side area should be rejected, diagram should be there. Now alpha value. What is the alpha value? 0.05. So how much is the rejection area? 5%, which is 0 to 0.05. 0.5 to 1, it is acceptance area. Accept null hypothesis, this is a reject null hypothesis. That is the diagram. The moment you write the test, immediately first you have to draw is diagram. Now apply the test. Apply the test. Now Z test is equal to x bar minus mu divided by sigma by square root of n. Now x bar, sir, where is x bar, sir? In the given question, x bar is not there because data set was given. Why they'll give the x bar? You have to calculate everything manually then. Right? Data set was given means x bar will not be given. Earlier data set was not given. So x bar they have given to us and they told that normally distributed. Now data was given now. So data was given means we have to calculate from the data only. So how to calculate from the data means I'm calculating from what are the column was given to me. For that particular column, I'm applying the dot mean. Dot mean. What is the value? 155.06. X bar value is 150.06. What is the mu value? X minus mu divided by sigma by square root of n. This is 155.06. What is mu value? 150. Why? Because that is the hypothesis test which we are working. Divide by sigma. What is the sigma value? Sigma value should be calculated. Data was given. Data was given means you have to calculate from the data only. So in the question also given, no sir. Even in the question and in the data, both has to be the same. Let us cross check. DDOF is equal to 0 because population standard deviation. What is the value? 5.526. 5.526 or 5.5. They have given up to round figure of 5.52. Divide by, what is the number of samples? 25. They have given in the question, or here you have to check means how to check here. You are going to take dot shape. Dot shape. In the shape you are going to get 20 and tuple. In the tuple I want number of rows. How to get number of rows exclusively means index number 0. Because in the tuple first value will be extracted by using the indexing. When I am explaining the tuple indexing, at the time you will tell the answer. I know that one. Now you have to remember that one. When you have get the tuple in that first value, how to extract the first value means through indexing. During the tuple time, obviously every person will tell. How to extract the first value means our index of 0. During the core Python when I am explaining tuple. Now shape will also give the tuple now. In the tuple, how to extract first value means index of 0. Now that is 25, square root of 25. Calculate. What is the answer for this? (155.06) minus 150 divided by 5.53 divided by square root of 25. What is the value? 3.37. 4.59. Cross check. 4.59 would be the correct answer. Now see here, in Python from stats.stats wait stats, I'm going to import the z test. Within the z test, I'm going to give the data, mu value, alternate is equal to if it is a left tail or right tail based on that. So since it is a right tail test, then I have to give here, see here, three options will be there. One is left tail, right tail, two tail. Two-sided means two tail test. Larger means right tail test. Smaller means left tail test. Now for me, it is left tail or right tail or two tail. It is a left tail. So what I have to use here? Smaller. And DDOF is equal to 0. So once I have used this one, so it is going to calculate the p value and everything. Now see here, this value is there now. This one only will be applied in the backend. So these three values will be selected by the Python. X bar, how it is going to calculate X bar means internally it will calculate like this. In the backend of this particular function, what are the function I have given? In the backend, first it is going to calculate the mean, standard deviation population of sample it has to calculate means DDOF is equal to 0 I have taken now. So it will calculate population standard deviation. These three lines are internal of this particular function. You don't need to write separately these three. I have shown you. For understanding purpose, I have shown you. But internally in the function, it will calculate the X bar value. It will calculate the population standard deviation based on the given data. It will only calculate the samples. You have to give for which one it has to apply the hypothesis test, that is value of 150. And whether it is a left tail test or right tail test, you have to provide. So what are the arguments you have to provide means one, data. Why you have to provide the data? So that it will calculate the X bar value, sigma value and value. You have to provide 150. Why you have to provide means it has to substitute here number. Maybe you are cross checking for 160 centimeters, how Python knows. Or you are checking for 200 centimeters, how Python knows that one. Fabric, what are the fabric you have selected? It is for 200 centimeters you have to do. Who knows? Now, so you are applying for 150 and for 150, what is that here? You are going to get the two values. This function, it is going to return the two values. Can you see what are the two values it is going to return? Test statistic value and p value. Two values it is going to return. So this function will return. Do you remember the return in the functions? So functions can return one value, functions can return multiple values. Now this function is going to return one value or multiple values means multiple values. What are the two values means? One is test statistic value. That is after substituting in the formula, you got 4.59 that value. And based on that value, you are going to calculate the p value. Open the z table. In the z table for 4.59, what is the p value? Tell me. In the z table, you'll have the data only between -4 to +4. That is the maximum value. Once it crosses, see, 3.49 only is the maximum number. If it is crossing 3.49, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, any number more than this, it will be almost equal to 0.0999999, means almost equal to 1. Any number more than z value of 3.5, it is almost close to 1. So it is going to apply this one. And here p value you got as 0.099999. Now whether it is in the acceptance region or rejection region, it is in the acceptance region. So whether we have to accept or reject, we have to accept. Now the same example by seeing also you can say now almost all of them are more than 150. Now same example you try for 200. Now what happens? By seeing the data itself you can conclude, right? All the values are less than 200. So what happens? For the same example, as a quality inspector, you are checking for 200 means it has to get rejected. Let us cross check for 200 here. Let's try for 200. Now what is the p value got? 0. 0 will be in the rejection area or acceptance area? 0 to 0.5 is rejection area. 0.05 to 1 is acceptance area. It is clear now? For 200, it is not acceptable. For 150, it is accepted. Online students, is that clear now? Anyone has any questions? In this function, it is going to apply that internally. What it will apply means formula it will apply, test statistic it will only calculate, p-value also it will only calculate. These three things are included inside the function. Everyone is clear? Anyone has any questions? Sorry. 1 to? What 1 to 1.5? Oh no, 0 to 0.05. Adi rejection, 0.5 to 1 acceptance. Done? No need to by heart, guys. Just total area is 1. Total area. What is the total area? Is equal to 1. In that, this is alpha, this is 1 minus alpha. Total is 1. If you are combine alpha plus 1 minus alpha, total should be 1. Alpha is 0.05. This is 0.95. 0.05 means 0 to 0.5, 0.5 to 1. Total area should be 1. Unnecessarily don't get confused with the 5%, 95%. This is percentage. Value wise 0.05, 0.95. Value wise 0.95. Percentage wise it is 95%. 95% meaning is 95%. Percent means 95 into percentage symbol is 1 by 100. The meaning of percentage is 1 by 100. When you convert any percentage to value, the percentage symbol we have to write as 1 by 100. 95 by 100 is 0.95. Is the point is clear? Everyone? Anyone has any questions? Now, case study number 2. Again, I'm going to copy this question in the notepad. The mean diameter of a bolt manufacturing should be 10 mm in order to fit into a nut. 20 samples are taken at random from production line by quality inspector. Conduct a test with 90% confidence. 90% confidence that the mean is not different from the specific value. Bolt diameters. Everyone knows bolt and nut. Bolt diameters. Now, for this, first formulate null and alternate hypothesis, guys. Write in the notes. What is the mean? What is the null and alternate hypothesis for this? Huh? First one, step one. Mu is equal to 10 mm. Why? Then only it will be fitted in the nut. Otherwise, we have to take the action. Mu should not be not equal to 10 mm. Then we'll take the action. The quality inspector also will take action, or even company owner also. For them also it should be 10 mm only. Otherwise the bolts will not be fitted and sales will not be there. Even it is company owner also, whether it is quality inspector also, the null and alternate hypothesis will be the same. For company owner, it is not going to be with respect to diameters should be greater than 10 mm. No, na. If it is 12 mm or 13 mm, it will not be fitted in the nut, na. Properly, it will not be fitted in the nut. For them also, it should be equal to exactly 10 mm. Right? Now, step 1 completed. What is the step 2? Check for level of significance. What is the level of significance here? 0.9 is the confidence. That is 1 minus alpha is 90%. Alpha is 10%, which is nothing but 0.1. This is step 1. What is the step 2? Is alpha 1 minus alpha was given as 90%. 90% means 0.9. That is 1 minus alpha is equal to 0.9. From this, alpha is equal to 0.1. In the question, they have given the confidence, not the level of significance. Next, what is the step 3? Check for normality. Data was given or data was not given to us. So data was given to us like this. This is the bolt diameter data. Data was given to us. When the data was given to us, then what we have to do? We have to load the data and we have to check the skewness value. So the same thing I'm doing here. First, I'm going to load the data. After loading the data, I'm checking the skewness. And what is the skewness I have got is 0.009. Whether it is normal distributed or left or right. It is a normal distributed. Done. Next, step 4. What is step 4? Select the test. Now tell me, what is the test? Step number 4. Select the test. What is the test? One sample, because only one column is there now. So obviously one sample. Z tester, T tester. T test. Why? Not given. Population standard deviation was not given. Go with the T test. Left tail or two tail. For T test also, left tail is there, two tail is there, right tail is there. Common. With two tail rejection. What is the diagram? Diagram. Once we have written the test, immediately what we have to do? Diagram. In the diagram is two tail rejection. Right side, left side. How much I have to take on the left side? How much I have to take on the right side? 0.5 on the left side, 0.5 on the right side. Balance 0.9 is acceptance. This is alpha 1 minus alpha, which is 0.9. This is alpha by 2, which is 0.5. This is alpha by 2, which is 0.5. If you combine total, it is 1. Yeah, sorry, 0.05, exactly. 0.05. So 0 to 0.05 is rejection area. 0.05 to 1, 0.95 is acceptance area. Again, 0.5 to 1 is rejection area. Diagram is clear? Why we have taken alpha by 2? Why? It is a two tail test. For left tail test or right tail test, only alpha. For two tail test, alpha by 2. Because total should be alpha only. Both the sides, if you include, it should be alpha. Overall alpha should be there. After that, what is the next step? Select the test is completed. Okay. After that, apply the test. So now what is the T test we are going to apply? Is equal to x bar minus mu divided by instead of sigma s by square root of n. Yes, sample standard deviation, because population standard deviation is not given now. Sir, sample standard deviation, it will be given, not because sample is there, means obviously sample standard deviation we can calculate, right? For sample, any measure we can calculate because sample data is with us only. Population data only will not be with us. Sample data will be always with us. So anything can be calculated on the sample data. Now, here I'm going to select in the Python, this one. What is the one I'm going to select means, see, stats.test underscore one sample of what are the column, and for which one I have to apply the hypothesis test, that value, and alternative is equal to two-sided. Why two-sided? Because it is a two-side rejection. Now, what it is going to do internally? Internally, what it will apply? First, it will calculate the mean value. You also calculate the mean value. Let us calculate the mean value. How it is going to do internally? Let us cross-check ourselves. Dot mean, which is nothing but 10.94 minus mu value is 10. How it is taking 10 internally? Because this one here number you have given now, that value will be substituted there. That value will be substituted. Okay. And yes, what is S value? Standard deviation. So I'm going to calculate the standard deviation. What is the DDOF I have to give? 1, because it is sample. And what is the value? 0.842. And number of samples. How to calculate number of samples? I'm going to take the shape. Within the shape, I'm going to have the dot shape. And within that, index number of 0. What is the number of samples? 20. Now, if you substitute here, what is the value you are going to get? So these three values are calculated based on the data. This value was given here. So based on this, it is going to work and it is going to give the test statistic value and from that p value also. So what is the test statistic value you are going to get means 4.99, and what is the p value means 8.05 into 10 to the power of minus 0.5. Guys, here everyone are saying that sir, p value 8.05, sir, how the p value can be greater than 1? No, never it can be greater than 1. Then here 8.05, 8.05 into e power is there, na? That is the meaning 10 to the power of minus 5. E power minus means 10 to the power of minus. E means 10 to the power of. So here, which is nothing but 0.0008. One more zero also is there. Now, whether it comes under acceptance area or rejection area? Huh? Whether it comes under acceptance or rejection? Rejection area. It is even less than the 0.05 now. So it comes under rejection area. So should I accept or reject the null hypothesis? Reject the null hypothesis, since I'm going to reject the null hypothesis. Is the point is clear? Reject the null hypothesis. Simple. Anyone has any questions? Now, what is the formula for z-test and what is the formula for t-test? Z-test and t-test. What is the formula for z-test and t-test means x bar minus mu divided by sigma by square root of n, x bar minus mu divided by s by square root of n. Instead of sigma, you have to write s. That is sample standard deviation. Remaining everything is same as it is. Right? Now, when these both will be same, both the values will be the same values. When it will be both will be the same is when your sigma, that is population standard deviation, is equal to sample standard deviation, then both of them are same. That is nothing but When these two are going to be the same is when population standard deviation and sample standard deviation are same. Then only both are same. Otherwise, both are different. Then your Z test and T test are different. Now, how you are having the Z table? Similarly, we are having for the T table. Komal is asking, could you please explain how the value was calculated? Same. S minus X bar minus mu divided by S by square root of N. Sample standard deviation divided by square root of N. Komal. Right? Next, I'm writing here T table. Now see here, I'm going to get even the T table like this. Now, could you see here T table? Now in the T table, you are having DF. What is meant by DF? Means degrees of freedom. Now in the hypothesis test also, you have got here degree of freedom. What is the degree of freedom? Means 19. Why 19? Why 19 only? Because number of samples are 20. 20 minus 1. N minus 1 is 19 only now. Degree of freedom is nothing but N minus 1, right? Now, so here in the T table, I'm having starting for degree of freedom of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even up to 19 also. And if you drag down, you can get up to 30. After 30, can you see here 31? No, 31 is not there, 32 is not there, nothing is there. And 40 is there, again 60 is there, 80 is there, 100 is there, 1000 is there. After 1000, directly they have written the Z. So whenever the number of samples crosses more than 1000, your T test and Z test both are same. If you apply Z test also, answer is same. If you apply T test also, answer is same. Not even minute difference. When the sample size is more than 1000. Now, what is the minimum sample size is required means, okay, after which number there is no next number? 30. So what is the minimum sample size we required is 30. After 30, so when sample size is greater than 30, when sample size is greater than or equal to 30, not even equal to, if it is equal to, degree of freedom will be 29. Greater than 30 means 31, 32 will come. So whenever the value is greater than 30, the sample size, in that case, your Z test and T test both are almost same. Approximately. This, what is the difference between this symbol versus this symbol? This symbol indicates exactly same. This symbol indicates almost same. Similar value. So your Z test and it is equal to T test. So first you have to check whether the number of samples are greater than 30 or less than 30. If it is greater than 30, true. If it is false, false means what? Number of samples are less than 30. The meaning of this one is number of samples are less than 30. True means the meaning is greater than 30. When it is greater than 30, either you can apply one sample Z test or one sample T test. Choice is yours. You can apply whichever you want. Values will be almost same. When it is less than 30, in that case, you have to check whether standard deviation is known or standard deviation is unknown. If standard deviation, population standard deviation is known means one sample Z test. If it is unknown means one sample T test. When it is less than 30. When it is greater than 30, there is no difference. You can select anything of your choice. So this is the interview question. What is the interview question is, what is the minimum sample size is required to apply the inferential statistics means we have to say 30. Now, if 30 is there, then almost z-test and t-test will be the same. When z-test and t-test are same means literally population standard deviation and sample standard deviation are same. Means you are almost working on the reality data. For example, if you have to see the job description in the job portals, these are the companies they're asking the job requirements like this, that one, this one means you should not confirm based on a one job. How many things you have to observe in the job description like that means at least 30 jobs you have to observe. After observing 30 jobs, if you say something, sir, recently I have observed in the job description like this, they are asking something, this one means I'll accept. By seeing only one company has asked a question, some kind of, the person should be good at Altrex is the software. Okay, one company has asked means other companies also will ask. How you can confirm like that? One person is interested with Realme mobile phone means everyone will interest in Realme only. Yeah? As per their choice, they'll purchase. Different companies will purchase. One person will purchase Power BI, one person will purchase Tableau, one person will purchase other data visualization tool. That is their company, their wish. Every company will not purchase everything. Na? Your friend has purchased Oppo means everyone in the world will purchase Oppo only. Yeah? No, na. So just observe 30 jobs. If whatever you question you want to ask, sir, in the job description, I have seen this one, sir. They are asking, these are the things they are asking, which we have not covered in the class. Observe like that 30 jobs and tell me. Any 30 jobs of your choice and tell me. You are observing only one and you are concluding. Never the sample size should be equal to 1. The minimum sample size starts with the 2. Because n minus 1 has to be applied means 2 minus 1 has to be applied. 1 minus 1 is going to be infinite in the denominator. For degree of freedom of 0, we are not having anything here. Degree of freedom starts with 1. Degree of freedom 1 means n minus 1 is equal to 1 means n should be equal to 2. And right analysis will be done only of the sample size more than 30. Then only the right analysis will be done. Right? So if one of the some person, one person or two persons are saying something means we can't conclude anything like that. In our room, one person will say, data science, this one. One person says something means we'll conclude, he is God. No, na. One person says that something means we have to blindly, what is this? Even some of my friends are there in the US. Okay. And around one friend is there in the US. And when I have contacted my friend before the elections, Trump elections, what are the recent US elections, I asked, who is going to win? He told that, Kamala Harris will win. Okay. I asked why, what is the reason? He told that whatever in our area, everyone, our Telugu community people, our people are, Indian people are more looking for Kamala Harris only. Okay. His community is Telugu people and our Indians, they are voting for Kamala Harris. Fine. Now, I asked, how many people you ask? I asked 2 to 3 people. Everyone are saying Kamala Harris only. Based on 3 persons, he has concluded for 30 crores people of US. 30 crore people, whatever the estimation was done based on the 3 people. And he has told me. Now, should I also do the same thing? Okay, based on, since my friend has told, I am also expecting Kamala Harris only, should I say? Based on one person, should I say? Answer. That person don't know data analysis or statistics. I know now. The minimum sample size should be 30 now. And when it is correct data set and when it is miss, at least 1000. Exit post survey you have to do miss, at least you have to take the 1000 samples. Then exit post surveys will be correct. In one area, if you go and ask 3 or 4 people and okay, in this area, Congress will win miss. Then that is the reason why exit poll surveys will fail in the real time. If they do more analysis, then more amount of data, then accurate data will get. Is the points are clear, guys, for everyone? What is the minimum sample size is required? Why it is equal to 30? It is clear now. The reason behind 30? Answer is 30. What is the reason behind that is when it is more than 30, Z test and T test will be the same, where population standard deviation and sample standard deviation is the same. That is the reason. Done? That is the end of the session for today. And if you are having any questions, you can ask. If anyone has any questions, you can ask. What are the questions you are having? And tomorrow's class, we'll continue with the remaining test. Inference statistics was not completed. Tomorrow also, we have to continue with the balance test for remaining types of variables. Tomorrow, we'll complete the inferential. Statistics will be completed tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the last for statistics. Done. You can leave. If no questions, you can leave. And before leaving, cross-check your all the notes is uploaded in your drive. Just I'm going to upload everything, whatever we have discussed just now. The inference statistics, entire inference statistics, I'm going to upload. Just 1 minute. Just to give me 1 minute of time, I'm going to upload inference statistics entire notes. Yeah, inference statistics notes was uploaded. You can cross check. Online students and offline students. PPT was uploaded. Jupyter notebook was uploaded. Data sets are also uploaded. Please practice today. What are the data sets we have executed in the class? Practice them. Tomorrow I'll share you the task on the inferential statistics. Less than or equal to 30. Less than or equal to 30 is same. Done, guys. Just cross check your drive. It was uploaded. Yeah, you can leave. No questions, you can leave. Check once. Yeah. Chetan, whatever we have discussed in the previous class based on the alpha value and p value, na, that one is also we can do. That we'll discuss in the tomorrow's class. I'll explain what is the difference between that one and this one. Both of them are same answers. Okay, today we have discussed more examples now, and unnecessarily I don't want to confuse. That is the reason. So tomorrow I will explain that one. You can see the difference clearly. Both will give the same answers. Done. For one sample, no, forget that one, because here whatever the right tail test is there, na, in the Z table you'll get the left side area. Right side area, how to calculate in the Z table? What is the probability you're going to get? It is left side area or right side area? Just go through in the Z table. What are the area you're going to get? The p value. It is left side area. Yes. So as of now, whatever we have discussed, forget about the p is greater than alpha, p less than alpha. That one forget. Just blindly follow this one, and tomorrow we'll discuss that one. I'll show you the difference tomorrow.